you tried the last time.
Hi, teacher. It's me.
Hi,
Here's
Cole.
my audience.
Hi.
Same as last time. Okay. So many recreational sports that people play nowadays, from ages 15 to 60 to 80 to 100, and many of the sports are like golf, tennis, ping pong, all sorts of different recreational sports. But a very popular sport nowadays is racquetball. And racquetball has been going on since the 50s, actually the mid-40s. And here with my presentation, I just want to talk to you guys about the sport of racquetball itself, the history, the strategies, and the rules of the game. Give you guys a little more touch about the racquetball game. Because many people do not know like the rules of racquetball, but it is a very commonly played sport, especially in the middle-aged region. So, the racquetballmuseum.com and the rbracket.org talks about the history of the game. So it was invented by Joseph Sobek, and he used to be an ex-professional tennis player and handball player. And this is when the game of squash and handball was already invented. So Joseph Sobek got a little bored. He wanted to come up with a game that was much more fast-paced. So he decided to make a new game called paddle rackets. So basically it's the same thing as racquetball. And it wasn't the same as a regular racket, it was just a paddle. So he wanted to switch it up a little bit. So it took him 25 different prototypes to figure out the real racket, the racquetball. And as far as the ball goes, he came across a random rubber ball. He looked at it, he's like, oh, I kind of like this, or whatever. And he looked at it, he's like, oh, I could probably use that for the game. So took it with his designer guys, and they took him about 6 or 7 different prototypes to form the actual racquetball. So now the sport of racquetball is made. So in 1952, Sobek found the National Paddle Rackets Association. And then later on, it was taken over by a guy named Robert Kendler. He found the IRA in 1969, which is the International Racquetball Association. So, now it is a professional sport. Now it's played in the Olympics. It is very popular, and it's really common. Okay, so I want to tell you guys about the object of the game. How to discuss scoring, the serving, everything. A lot of people don't know how to play this game, even though it is quite common. So I have my little visual aid. Here we go. So, discuss scoring. Here we go. So it is a rally game. It is just like tennis, ping pong. You play against each other. If you score a point, that's 1 point right there. So the object is to always hit the back wall. When you're hitting against the person, you're not just hitting at them. Your line for like tennis or ping pong is that back wall. It always has to hit the back wall before it gets to the next player. So here's how we serve. You got 2 players. The server stands in between the lines, and the opponent stands outside. So what he has to do is serve it past this line. So he has to hit the back wall, then it has to pass the last red line for the play to keep going. And then they start playing against each other. Now this game, it goes up to 15. That's what it goes. And there is no win by 2. Professionally, you just go up to 15. And that's what it is. So, for serving, you're allowed to hit 2 walls, as long as you hit the back wall. Hit 2 walls before the ball goes over the red line. If you hit the front wall and then it hits the back wall, that's a reserve, or it's a serving penalty. So there's 2 serves in the serving. So what else? If you hit the third wall, when you serve it, you can hit 1, 2. But if it hits a third wall before it hits your opponent, that's also a penalty against serving. So it's a little hard to explain about that, but yeah. So when you're serving, if you miss a serve, you just completely miss it, that's a penalty to you. Now you're probably wondering, like, oh, man, it's such a compact game. People are always like, you must be hitting each other all the time. Like, actually, that's exactly what happens. That's why you wear safety glasses. And basically, if you know you're going to hit someone, you call hinder. That is what you have to do. So when you call hinder, then it stops the play and you redo it. It's nobody's point. However, if you hit the ball and it hits you again, it's the other person's point. So if you hit yourself, you're kind of looking like a fool. So, yeah. So as far as the requirements of the game, it's simple. You take, all you need is a t-shirt, all you need is shorts, tennis shoes, safety glasses are required. I mean, you don't have to play, but if you're going to play professional and organized, you have to play safety glasses. It's going to hurt if you get hit. And usually players will wear a glove for better grip. So, racquetballlessons.com and expertenough.com has given some of the main strategies on how to play this game. So, So the main thing you want to do is maintain center court position. When you're in the middle of the court, you have much more variety of the court. If you're just standing here, the opponent, he's going to hit it on this side and you won't be able to get the ball. It's good to be in the center of the court so you have more chance at the ball. Hit your opponent's weakness. Usually a weakness is backhand. Backhand is very hard because there's not enough strength. It's a lot of just flicking, not strength, but most of the time people get a good forehand and really rile it up. And what you want to do is, once you hit that back wall, you want to get that ball towards the side. It's harder to hit the ball when the ball's right on the side of the wall. You can't get any power, and usually the guy will miss it. So another thing, obvious, hit away from your opponent. Make them run. That's what you have to do. Always make them run. And the best thing you can do in racquetball, you always practice, but it takes a lot of practice, is to hit the ball low. The ball always has to be low. If it hits low, it's going to bounce really fast. It's going to be 2 bounces just like that. You want to aim for the corners if you can, because if you hit in the corner of the right spot, it's just going to drop, and then the opponent has no chance of getting the ball at all. So there's some of the main components of playing the game. So now you guys get a little bit of a feel of what the game of racquetball is. You understand the history, like how it was made. It took 25 different prototypes in order to come up with it. It was made by an ex-tennis player, professional tennis player. You know the strategies, you know the basis of the game. And it's very, like I said, it's very commonly played. You can play it anywhere. You can play it in colleges, you can play it in gyms, they're everywhere. So you can do that. So that's my speech.
We're still here. You turn it off.
Yay!
8 minutes.
8 minutes on the dot.
Wow.